Hi guys, so I am here to do a spoiler review for season 2, episodes 8 and 9 of High School Musical, the musical, the series. I've done a lot of videos over the show so far, because, there's now 2 seasons and I've been watching the show, so I've been putting videos out about it. And if you have not watched the videos, I'll just do my thoughts on the show. No, it's not the best show. It's a cheesy mess, but like it's still fun. It's a fun show. I like the music. I think the acting's great. But overall, it's a pretty good show. Like, and I'll talk more about my thoughts on like what my thoughts over these 2 episodes, because I do like season 1 a lot better than season 2, but yeah. So this is spoilers, so if you don't be spoiled, completely understand. Won't hurt my feelings. Just get off the video and then watch the 2 episodes and come back, and then we can compare our thoughts. So yeah, I'm gonna do spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, get off the video. And so yeah, let's start with spoilers. This show is like, I think it needs to pick up the pace. So like, there's a lot of different things that are happening in the show, and I'm like, you could have cut that out. That's really not that important. Although some of the things that are like side things and not involved with the musical are important, like Ricky and Nene end up breaking up, which I was kind of expecting that to happen anyway, with like what had been happening in the other episodes. And they really weren't my favorite characters, although I think they're pretty good characters and they're good for what they're supposed to stand for, and they like the actors do what play the characters really, really well. Like it, it it was something that happened. I really liked the music in these 2 episodes, which the music helped a lot, and the acting from the actors really helped a lot. But I really don't think that this story is going anywhere. I feel like the last couple episodes, it's just like the story has just kind of stopped. And I don't know if that's just me, but it's getting kind of boring. And although I like what they're doing with this show, and they're focusing a lot more on the characters um this season than on the musical, but the characters weren't my favorite part of the first season. It was the musical that I enjoyed. So I'm kind of like, hey, let's go back to the musical side of things, please. These characters, although most of them are great, and there's not one that I'm like, I hate you. There's not one like that. A lot of the characters I'm just like, oh yeah, they're a character. I don't really have strong opinions on a lot of them. They're just there. So for me personally, the focusing on the characters thing has been kind of boring, but like, I'm not complaining. I'm still gonna keep watching the show, but it still is like, hey, can we go back to the musical thing? Because that's what I really enjoyed about the first season. And the music, I think, is the best part of this show. Actually, no questions. From like no way it isn't. For me personally, I think the music's the best part of the show. Of the people who wrote the music, like who are like a lot of the music was written by the cast, which I think they're all really great at writing music and acting. So like, good job. You're a very talented person. But and if it wasn't for the musical, the music, I think I would be like, oh, when are we gonna get back to the musical stuff? But I like the music. I like what they're doing with the music. I like how it's like representing what the characters are going through, especially that last song at the end of episode 9, Ricky's song. I love that song. That song was done really well in just like talking about what's going on. I love those songs. The songs that are just like filler, I don't really like, and like I want to know what your character is feeling and all that stuff, and I think they're doing really good with that with this show. And I think all of like the lyrics and everything about it is just done so well with this show, but I wish this plot would go faster, which I know is a lot to ask because I'm watching High School Musical, the musical, the series, which it's good that it's not garbage, but because I was expecting the show not to be very good, so like I'm happy it's something at all, like, and not like I can't watch this anymore, but I wish the story would go somewhere. um the characters are pretty good. I like the characters' relationships and how like they're friends and things like that. I think all the characters just work together so well, and all the personalities just blend so well to make this group of people that is actually believable. And like that goes mostly to the actors because they they just work well together so well and make it believable that these people are actually friends, which from what I have seen on the internet, the cast is actually friends, which helps. But yeah, they really do well with this. Yeah, it's like it's not a terrible show, but I'm wishing that we got like something a little bit more, possibly. Maybe like I wish we got more of the musical side of stuff, and that's what we got in the first season, and I really liked that. But in the second season, they're focusing more on like characters and character development, which was needed, and I understand why they're doing it like from a story point of view. But as someone who liked the musical part of it a lot more than the characters, um, I am getting kind of bored. So, like, it's not terrible. Nothing about this show is terrible. It's just, like, I'm wanting more. And once again, for High School Musical, the series, I feel what we've gotten is pretty good. But, it's just, like, me being like, hey, can we move along and go more to the music side of it? Because that's what I enjoy. But, yeah, everything about the show was like it's a pretty good show. I'm gonna keep watching it, but there are times I'm like, when are we getting back to the music? Okay, you're gonna keep talking. Yeah. And like all the drama stuff, it was funny in the first season, and in the beginning of season 2. It was funny that like they weren't taking themselves seriously. I thought that was done really well, and it's still done pretty well. But when you don't take yourself seriously for an amount of time, like you're like, it's the same joke again. It's the same joke again. But so it's mostly just me being harsh on a show that it's good that there's anything good about it, because I did not think it was gonna be a good show. But yeah, I wish like there was more different kinds of comedy, because I'm not really finding it very funny. I do think what the characters are going through is done really well, and like showing how like it's sad for people when you like drift apart and things like that. I think how they're doing it is good. It's just I personally am like, okay, this is. I wish we focused more on the music side, but that's just my personal opinion, and that's just because I like music a lot more, and I love Beauty and the Beast as a musical. I've seen it before, and actually twice. I think I saw it twice, yeah. And I loved it both times, and it's so much fun. It's such a fun musical and movie, and the live action remake is something else, but I'm not going to talk about the live action remake right now. So yeah, I just wanted to see more of that kind of stuff, and that's really not what they're focusing on. And then like the rivalry between the two schools is kind of dumb, but like that's the thing I think about the story that I'm like, why are we doing this? Because like it causes a relationship to like break, that you're in two different schools. Why does it matter? I guess like you're rivals, but still, like, they talk about it so much and they're like, it's so bad. I'm like, no one would care. In actual life, no one cares if you're friends with someone from a different school. Like, no one cares at all. So it like, that's probably the part I'm like, why are we doing this again? But like, it's a cheesy mess. Is it the best show in the world? Absolutely not. But it's still fun. Like, there are times I'm like, I want to go back to the music, but the music is always so good. The acting really is another great part, and they're doing really well with what they're given. The characters and how they work together are really great. I love the characters' dynamics. I think they're all great. It's just, I wish we focused, like, it was like half and half, musical and characters, because I felt like that's more of what it was in season 1. And this one, we're definitely having more like character stuff. Like, although the episode, these two episodes, they weren't able to rehearse at all other than the Gaston. They sang the Gaston scene and worked that out. And then it was spring break. So we basically just did not get any musical, like, Beauty and the Beast stuff, which is the thing that happened in the first season, but I feel like it was more stuff that was happening with the musical. So I wish it was evened out a little more, but that's just me. Overall, I think the show is still fun. It's like, although it's not the best show, and it's like, I'm gonna keep watching it. Like, part of the reason I'm gonna keep watching is because I like the music, but I'm gonna keep watching it. So, and I feel like once we get towards the end, it'll get more like musical stuff, which I think will be a lot better because I like the musical stuff a lot more. But this was a kind of harsh review, which I don't mean it to be. I try to keep these videos like happy. Like, I don't like being like harsh on something, like to the point like cramming it, because like I know this takes a lot of time and work and effort, so I don't really like to do that. So I just want to say this at the end of the video. I like I said, this is a good show. I wish they would go more with it, but also it's High School Musical, the musical, the series. I was not expecting anything to be good in this show. So I'm grateful that it's still a decent enough show that I'm still watching it after 2 seasons. I just wish we would get the characters would like kind of speed up the process, and we would go more like half and half of the characters and musical. But I understand for like character development and character connections and things like that, I understand why they're doing it the way that they are. It's just, for me personally, I wish we were doing it a different way, but like, it's still a pretty good show. I'm still gonna keep watching it. So those are my thoughts. Yeah, I think it's a fun show. I would recommend it to people, but like, if you think it's gonna be the best show in the world and it's gonna be a masterpiece, I wouldn't expect that. Just expect to have a fun ride and have some good music, and sometimes for the plot to like just stop and the pacing to be kind of weird. But overall, it's not a terrible show. So if you are thinking about watching this show and aren't sure if you want to watch it, I would recommend it, especially the first season. The second season's a little rocky, but I feel like the first season was really good. So now we're almost at 15 minutes, so I'm gonna let you go. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you 1,000, and stay safe. Bye, guys.